What is up, YouTube adventure family? Today, we're in the beautiful Rockies of Colorado and we're about to go fishing, but I want to talk to you about something that's very important. This right here is, in my opinion and many others' opinion, the best 60-volt e-bike available today. Maybe the best 60-volt e-bike ever at this point. This is the Goat Power Bike's Power Goat V2. This is brand new. They've updated it from the V1. They've put rear suspension on it. They've put a controller in it that corresponds and communicates better with the inline hub motor here, giving it more torque, more power, more responsiveness, and a smoother overall ride. This bike is absolutely amazing. I've added a couple little extras myself to make it mine, of course. We'll talk about that as we take a ride up to Minturn, USA in Colorado, and we go fishing in one of my favorite spots in the world. Let's get on the Goat Power Bikes Power Goat V2 with the fishing rod holder. I'll put a link in the description below of that handy little dandy little thing there. And I'll also put some links in the description below of some of the accessories that I've added on to possibly one of the best e-bikes ever made, coming in at an incredible price of $23.99 right now if you get it. The first shipment sold out. They're supposed to get a second shipment here early this month here in June if they haven't sold out already. Get on board and get one of these awesome bikes. I did, and I'm finding it to be probably the most perfect bike in the world to handle the hills and the terrain in the area that I live in here in Colorado, and probably be one of the best adventure bikes of all time. So let's get on Power Goat V2 and let's go fishing. Let's go. All right, as we go down this super steep hill, these brakes are phenomenal. And by the way, I had some people asking about the review on these brake pads. Well, here you go. Check this out. Smooth as buttery silk. And I could just kind of fluctuate the pads with these 4-piston caliper brakes pretty easily. I actually had a snowmobile motocross friend take this bike out earlier. He actually does the avalanche stuff here in the valley. He teaches people Avalanche 101. And he's a big time legend around here. We used to teach kayaking together. That's how we know each other. But anyway, let's get on the Goat Power Bikes Power Goat V2, and let's talk about just the best doggone 60-volt e-bike that you could get today. Now, when I say that, I want y'all first thing to understand, because I know I'm going to get a bunch of chatter and a bunch of blah, blah, blah. I'm not talking about your Surons and your Chalarias. I'm talking about an actual e-bike, something that has pedals that you could actually pedal. Not that this bike is really built or intended to be a pedal type bike. You can still do it, and it even has gears to make the pedaling easier or harder, whether you're using the e-bike functions or not. You would just have to be very, very much into, like, I guess, mode 1 or mode 2 if you were going to be into like using it as a pedal bike. What I do like about this bike though, if you do use it as a pedal bike, and trust me, you can totally pedal and get exercise on this bike. It's just not the best one for it. Is it does have a narrow seat. The seat is narrow all the way back, allowing you to kind of keep your thighs in closer than like some other bikes that have a seat that keep it wider. So this is more like inside and in close, more like the Zoo styled bike, but just a lot more cushion, where it's really the seat to me, just because of my background, the seat to me is like a really cushy dirt bike. But you can see like the cascades going down through there, so everything is really, you can really float all that now. You got that, we call that a green tongue. You can see where the water's green all the way through the middle there, and you could really just float through that without hitting many obstacles now, so it's high enough to definitely float. This is really cool. Hopefully we'll run into my friends Mike and Ellen. They should be on the river today. Maybe we'll run into them while they're out boating on their kayaks. Oh, what a gorgeous day. So we're gonna zip through here. But yeah, I'm just like messing with this thing is just quite weird. I don't know, it's just like I feel like you basically have to have it in just the most obnoxious gear there is for it to do anything for you. So I don't know, maybe like, look at here. It's just a little marmot feller. Hello, marmot. What you doing? You see him on the rock right there, getting in the sun, getting him some vitamin D. Ah. Anyways. What a beautiful freaking day. This is just unbelievable, man. Unfreaking believable. So this bike path, literally, I've said this a bunch of times on my other videos, but this bike path literally goes 65 miles. And it goes from Glenwood Canyon all the way to Frisco, and from Frisco all the way to Glenwood Canyon. Actually to Glenwood Springs, it goes through the canyon. It goes through Vail Pass, through the canyon. So I mean, it's a wild, wild ride. Look at that, ain't that cool? So what they did is they basically ferried across. He may be training some rafters. I don't know if they'll wait for anybody to come back through, but he may be training these guys. And that's just a ferry. That's going from one end to the other and just keeping at a nice 15-degree angle and cutting across and cutting back, pointing upstream. So that's really cool. The reason I know that, I used to be a raft guide for many, 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 many years. That's a big part of the reason why I came out here, was because doggone whitewater. It's amazing. But this right here is called Dowd Chute. It's Dowd Junction area. It's the creme de la creme of a short run. If you're into taking some short runs and some boogie water, it's really freaking hard to beat. As you can kind of see the tail end of it, this isn't even the chute. This is just the tailwaters of the chute. Amazing. But check this out, just how it climbs the hill as I come through here, and I've done this before. I mean, we get up, you know, well into the mid-30s, and maybe even freaking higher if we wanted to. You know, we took it on that ride up to Beaver Creek. We went to the Blues, Brews, and Barbecue. And man, did this bike impress or what? I mean, it went up the hill like it was flat. I think we were going 35, 36 miles an hour uphill, and a long uphill too. That 50 amp controller really is just the spark and cadoodle of it all, man. It really is. It's amazing. This bike is just incredible. It just handles so well, and just being able to, honestly, just being able to know that those brakes work good like that. Oh man, this just makes my day. You don't understand how important that is. I'll park right here. I'll show you a good view of the chute that I was telling you about. I mean, check that out. So that right there is basically, it's just flowing now. It's beefy. It's should be easy flow water right now and going over everything, you know, just read it and go. It gets hairy down there though. It could flip you at the end too. It is crazy. Unfreaking believable. All right. Let's continue our journey to Minturn and talk about this awesome bike. There's so many manufacturers out there nowadays. There's a lot of competition. And it's really, you know, you're really seeing some of the companies just go to the side that just too much overhead, got too big for their britches, Onyx. And then you're seeing like a lot of other companies just kind of disappear to the sides just because they never really made a really good product mate. Anyways, so saying that, you know, this bike has competition too, don't get me wrong, but it's not in the same category as the Surons. It's not in the same category as the Talarias or the E-Rod Pros. It's just not. It's not a dirt bike, and it's not that type of bike at all. This is more of your road bike, you know, cruising around town, you know, whatever, busting through the city, running errands. That's what this bike is. Look at this. They've got the bike path basically now just cutting through here. This is really, really cool. Oh man, we could knock that down into Mode 2. This is all new. This is all new. I lived in Minturn for 7 years and we didn't have this. So this is just amazing. Super cool. Super beautiful. Wow, how pretty is this? This is all new. This is a new bike path through Minturn. You don't have to go on the highway. You don't have to go on the old bony road, boneyard, and you don't have to go on the gravel access road here that takes you to the boneyard where Vail stores all their vehicles. Not all of them, but they definitely store a lot of things there, that's for sure. All right, let's head on up through here. Woo! Enjoy this bike path, boys and girls. Yeah, let's go. This is great. Smooth and new. Smooth and new. And this bike just handles, you know, this kind of stuff just like it's nothing, honestly. Just truly amazing. It's gorgeous, just absolutely freaking gorgeous. And right here, the best barbecue for sure is the guys at Kirby Cosmos. I used to work there. I worked there for several years because hell, I lived here for several years. Right up that road, right? They are actually crazy. This bike is amazing. So right now, the speed limit's 35, and this bike could handle every bit of 35. And it's just cruising. Like, I don't even think that, in Mode 3, I don't even have the throttle halfway twisted. So there's that. So cool. What an incredible bike. All right, let's give it a little bit more juice now. And it's, you know, the weight of this bike is really special too. And that's something I want to talk about, is the weight of this bike. It is super, super duper stable. Like, it makes me super happy. Absolutely amazing. I'm really curious, you know, why you would want anything more than this, honestly. This is a lot of e-bike. I mean, at 60 volts, I mean, the next level up is 72. I just feel that, like, maybe at that point is just where the e-bike stops and the motorcycle starts. Because you could very well argue that could stop and start at 60 volts already, much less bringing this in at 72 volts. And I don't even know what kind of freaking controller that you use at that point. Whatever. All right. So we've obviously made some headway, for crying out loud. Good God. They even got blinkers on this thing. So that's crazy. Anyways. Let's go up this way and throw some lines in the water. And having the dual brake thing is just incredible. As you can see, this is super steep and gravel on top of it. So it's like steep and marbly. And I don't suggest that you try this. I mean, I've got a lot of dirt bike and single track experience here in Colorado, but I don't suggest you necessarily try that. But good God, look at this. This is crazy and so worth the price of admission. So there it is. The Goat Power Bike's PowerGoat V2. To me, the greatest 60 volt e-bike of all time. And I can say that for a number of reasons. And the reason I picked the PowerGoat V2 out of all the PowerGoat bikes is because of the seat. I like this style. I like the Cafe Racer. It's got like that classic Cafe Racer e-bike look that everybody wants to charge $4,000 and up for. And you could get the bike you don't have to do anything to for almost half the freaking price. So there you go. The Goat Power Bikes, PowerGoat V2, 60 volt, 50 amp, comes with a 20 amp hour battery, and you could get another additional battery to make it 40 amp hours to never ever worry about your distance. And honestly, in mode 2, I don't have to worry about it. I don't have range anxiety when I use it in mode 2 on this bike at all. It still performs mighty fine and does everything I need it in mode 2. And that only means the battery and the motor is going to last longer when you're not just stressing it out and powering it out. So if you think the bike is like too much, think about just dropping it down another mode and letting that bike last you even longer. Check out the link below for changing the brakes on this thing, my review, the unboxing of this beautiful bike. I'll leave those links below. And I'll also leave a link below for the nice little pedals I got, the fishing rod holder. But check this out. I got a new stem. Sure did. Got a new stem. I got new handlebars. I sure did. The handlebars here are really cool. I'll put a link below to those. Those are like $109. Those are super expensive. I'll put a link below to the carbon fiber cap here. I'll put a link below to the stem here. It was about $50. Handlebars were about $109. I don't know, you're looking at $160, $170 out the door. And then, as I was saying about these cool pedals here, you're looking at $200 upgrade on the bike, which is not much at all to just kind of make it mine. So, yeah, the Goat Power Bikes, PowerGoat V2, to me, those hub wheels, those 203 rotors and 4-piston hydraulic brakes with those hard-headed brake pads. Those hard-headed Ram brake pads are amazing. I'll put a link below those. They're so quiet and so smooth, as you saw on the ride here. Just simply amazing. I hope you enjoyed me talking about the greatest and the best 60 volt e-bike on the market today. because it is. I've ridden them. I've ridden a lot of bikes, a lot of e-bikes, and there is no other 60-volt e-bike like this one. There's just not. It's simply the best. And if you got a second person, look at all that room. Room for miles. You could both have a backpack on. Think about that. Anyways, until our next adventure, this is Chris from the Colorado Adventure Channel in the middle of Colorado, right outside of Minturn, USA. And I'm gonna get my fishing on. Till next time. Peace.